Hello everybody. Welcome to another collection um, log entry. I just got back from a birthday party and my anxiety is a little high, but I wanted to knock another one out of these, knock another one out this weekend via another collection video. So I've got different segments that's going to be coming up hopefully within the next 10 to 15 minutes. That's will be the max. I've been going pretty long on these, but um, I also like to add detail, tell stories, so it is what it is. But I hope y'all have been enjoying them. I have had some comments, so I appreciate y'all popping in, saying hi, commenting. It's really cool. Also, thank you all for the likes on the most recent collection videos. So today we're obviously covering Funko Pops. A few notes: the Band-Aid on my thumb. I recently hurt myself, but don't mind. I'm doing okay. um, my anxiety's okay too. By the way, a personal note to anybody that suffers from anxiety, any type of anxiety. I deal with social anxiety along with a couple other things, and stuff like this helps relax me, among other things. So, the way this is going to work is each segment, each pop is in relation to each other in some way, and I'll kind of throw that out as much as I can. But anyway, we're obviously starting off with Disney, right? Wally, Hercules, Pocahontas. I've had Pocahontas for a while. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. Not exactly historically accurate. It does come under fire every so often nowadays, which I can understand why. But um, it was definitely one of the coolest. I really enjoyed the movie. One of my favorite songs is "Colors of the Wind." Um, I wasn't entirely inspired by the fact that Mel Gibson um, voiced John Smith, but that was his name, right? John Smith. um, yeah. Okay, so this is a part of a princess line. But anyway, there's that. Hercules, definitely one of my all-time favorite Disney movies because of the characters, the story, the just a great movie. Um, Personal note: there is somebody very important in my life who shall remain unnamed unless they decide to speak up in the comments, who refers to me as Wonder Boy, and that is how Hercules is referred to as Meg or Megara in the movie. Um, and I've always loved this movie, especially for the singing. I apologize for the camera, especially for the singing. I Can Go the Distance, um, and just I love the way they did the soundtrack. So as always, the Disney soundtrack is pretty awesome. Now and then there's Wally, or Wally, sorry. Then there's Wally. Um, Wally is Wally, you know, and this is a movie that delivered without dialogue for like 2/3 of it. There was no dialogue. It was just music. It was a dude doing his job. He was enjoying his life. No humanity around, and it was crazy. I will say I do count him as a Disney prince, um, mostly because the store that built Wally to clean the planet, Big Mart, I think, Big Stuff. Um, I see them as sort of a king in that regard, and he's his son, so it kind of leads to Disney prince. But anyway, those are the three Disney and how they're related. Next, we're going to move on to Cartoon Network. Okay, so we have Cartoon Network. We have Johnny Bravo. I tried to do his accent. I failed horribly. Um, this guy, this cartoon, you know, it has its shortcomings, but in general, there is a message of don't be a dick, treat women with respect, and don't be full of yourself. But it's so funny. I love this. I've got the first volume. I'm looking for other volumes, but this is definitely one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows of all time. And ooh, I apologize. I don't know what that is. I think that's from a strategy guide, maybe, where it scratched it. I'll have to try to. I'll clean that for the next segment. And then there's Courage the Cowardly Dog. Now, if you don't know who Courage is, have courage. Research him. It's so great. He's such a good boy. Um, I recently did a poll on the community feed, asking who's the better good boy, Scooby-Doo and Courage. Courage won. There were votes for Scoob, but Courage won out. So it's such a great series. Spooky, as if there was more than a few spooky episodes, especially the slab episode. If you're watching, you'll know what I'm talking about. Return the slab, kind of thing. Um, so yeah, there's that. Another great series from Cartoon Network. Two great series from Cartoon Network, and I had to have the pops when I saw them. So I did get them both second hand. They weren't bought brand new. So very cool. Okay, so next up we have Street Fighter, obviously. To note, I do have a couple other Street Fighter figures that are pops, but they're not in the boxes. And the way I've got them set up, if I try to move them, they'll fall. So, and these are two of my favorite characters ever. I'm a very aggressive Kami fighter, and I've always loved Akuma. Akuma's my top Street Fighter, and my main go-to. So I got these both secondhand, as are all my pops. All my pops are secondhand, but I try to keep good condition. This does have a little bit of splitting on the plastic on the side, but Akuma's in great shape. Akuma is one of my favorite fighters just because of his aggressiveness. His defense is obviously lower. He's a bit of a glass cannon in the Street Fighter games, but I just love the way he fights. I like his character too. He's just, he said fuck it. He's just went to the dark side basically. Cammy is such a great redemption story in the lore. Brainwashed, broke free, became a bit of her own hero actually, and it's just really cool. Um, and the animated movies in the series are really good. They did Akuma justice, I believe, and Cammy as well. Um, and so these are definitely some of my favorites. To note, I used to have a lot more pop figures, but you go through routines as a collector, as a gamer, where you want to minimize and you want to, you know, not have so much. And I don't know, I've seen other people go through this. I don't know if everybody goes through it, but at one point I had like close to 30, 35 pop figures. Now I try to keep it as minimal as possible. So um, it's mostly stuff that I really want or characters that I really connect with. So, and these two definitely fit that bill, as does this series of Street Fighter. Always meant a lot to me growing up. Okay, so these two, the previous segments have had a correlation to each pop in the scene, but these two, pretty unconnected. Um, and I can't think of any way that would be connected, but first up is Venomized Doctor Strange. I'm a big Doctor Strange fan of the movie variant. The comics variant, the character design is cool. I don't know, it just never really clicked with me, but Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange. I love him in that character. And I also love Venom. I'm not a huge Venom fan, but I really like Venom. Um, and so it was only obviously appropriate that I get a Venomized Doctor Strange. Secondhand, found this at a local game store. Totally worth it. Very cool. Very heavy too. This thing's got more weight than most of the other pops. Um, and then there is Anna. Now, there's a few comments to be made here, especially if you were an Overwatch player, Overwatch 1, I should say. Um, I loved Anna. I played Anna for years. She was a great mother figure to the team, to the Overwatch team. Was really there. She was a healer, but she didn't take shit from anybody. She was just old and took care of her kids, basically, and all the team members were her kids, her teammates. Um, you played her for a while. Um, she was a bit hard to manipulate because she was a sniper character. And if anybody ever watched me play Anna, it was not down the sights, it was shooting from the hip. So, and it was mostly spamming shots. Um, and so along the way of her character development, at first you couldn't shoot through teammates, um, if I remember right. How did they change that? So basically, what they changed something later where if a teammate got in your line of sight and you were firing and they were in front of the enemy, it would shoot and heal the teammate first, and then it would shoot through the teammate and go through to the enemy, which did some damage. And her ult weapon was a healing bomb that cut off healing to the enemy team and up the healing for your team. So definitely one of my all-time favorite characters. Overwatch 2, I think it kind of lost itself, but you know, I always have great memories of playing Ana, especially here on the channel. If you watch some of the old Overwatch videos, odds are most of the time I was playing a Reinhardt, Daddy Reinhardt, or Mama Ana. So, also another note, her voice actress in Overwatch is actually she does community outreach, I believe, in Egypt, and she's a bit of a social leader in that regard. So, done some really good work for humanity. Alrighty, and last but not least, these are obviously connected because it's a movie character and a movie director, as well as a movie character technically. So first up, let me just go ahead and talk about Kevin Smith. Now, let me just say, if you've watched the channel for a long time, you will see more than 90% of my videos is me with a beard and with a backward tat. Now, I did take inspiration from Kevin Smith without realizing it on the way that I wear myself like that. But for the record, though, a backwards cap has always been a bit of a safety blanket for me. Now, you don't see it a whole lot lately because I have been able to adjust a bit and take some of my safety blanket ticks as somebody that deals with mental challenges. And so the backwards cap really hasn't been seen a lot lately. So that's why. But he is one of the main influences on that with me not even realizing it. Somebody pointed that out. And then there was also my name for a while, Silent Fan, which was more related towards Silent Hill. But then there was Silent Bob. So it worked on multiple levels. But Kevin Smith is my dude. I love him. He's been through a lot, done a lot, seen a lot, and he's such a hardcore fucking nerd. It's ridiculous. And he is just awesome. So I saw this, I had to grab it. It's in amazing condition. Again, secondhand, and it also had the protector on it. So definitely worth the investment. And then last, we have Elvira and Gonk. Now, Elvira, if you don't know who she is a bit of a late 80s, early 90s icon. She did have her own reality show for a bit, trying to find the next Elvira. I don't know if they ever settled that, but she is and was for a long time a sex symbol. And she was also one of my favorite characters, not just for that, I promise. She had these, oh, you can see Kevin Smith's price tag there. That really doesn't help my importance on him, but there it is. Anyway, but no, Elvira she had that. She showed B movies on her horror show, and she was just such a funny character. The movies were very obviously very campy, but I really enjoyed her as a character. So I saw this, I had to have it, and so I went ahead and I picked it up. So it was a great find. Okay, so we're about to wrap up this video, but I had to throw these in here. I made mention of them with the Kevin Smith Elvira segment, but we're going to be going over my allotted time or what I usually try to do. But that's nothing new here on the channel. So we've got Futurama Matador Bender. I saw this at the shop I usually go to, and I had to get it. I've seen very few Futurama pops, sadly, locally. So I saw him and I had to grab him. Futurama is another safety blanket, especially to fall asleep to. I usually have Futurama on all the time. Know most of the words by heart if I'm watching the show. I can tell you what comes next. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but it's a show that means a lot to me, and Bender is great. And you can bite his shiny metal ass. I love the character. Favorite character, though, throughout the series, I would actually say is Nibbler. I love Nibbler. He's a He's definitely my favorite, and I can totally relate to Fry as well. Um, this is a special edition Batman Forever that I found. I'll be honest, I've gotten rid of most of my DC stuff. I resold it to a couple of collectors and to the local shop. I had a bit of a falling out with DC, sadly. There's a lot to that, but I'm still a fan, and I'm looking forward to James Gunn's as of this recording. But I did keep some of this stuff, and this was one of them. I had to keep this because it really is cool. Batman Forever, not the best Batman film, but um, it was really good, and the pop is really cool as well, and it's in great condition. I'm sorry I haven't shown the back of these either, but all of these are in really good condition, except for, excuse me, except for a couple of them that might have nicks on the side here, but they're very few. And then this one was actually gotten for me as a gift by Lady Psylocke, and I wanted to show this off. It's from The Flash, which was I thought was a decent movie. Um, and I had to keep it. Obviously, it's a gift from my girlfriend, and I didn't want to feel that wrath if I got rid of it. I didn't. I'm kidding. I didn't want to get rid of it, but it's it's worth keeping. So for that reason, and for it being Batman, but most of all because it's a gift from her. I can't wait till she hopefully does a video soon. Wink, wink, if she's watching, to show off her pop figures. She's found some good ones that I've help her find, and I've also become a bit of an enabler for her, starting to collect pops, but only on a level that much just like I do, which is there's some sort of connection with the pop or the character that the pop is of. So there's that. So I want to say thank you all for watching. I know we went over on time on this video, but these are obviously my favorites out of the ones that I have, and I just wanted to highlight them here. It's also going to be the thumbnail. But again, I hope you all enjoy this, and especially these collection videos. There's more to come, but I got a lot of them knocked out this weekend. So thank you all for watching. Stay safe, stay sane. Remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. You can see me in the reflection, and I'll see you later. Peace.